Assalamualaikum and good evening to Dr. Fariha. My name is Ezza Maizurah. Today I will be presenting an overview of my e-portfolio. My e-portfolio consists of two parts. In part 1, I will share my understanding of the secondary English language curriculum. In part 2, I will share my thoughts on the importance of motivation in ESL classroom, various ESL teaching approaches, language learner strategies and style, and finally 35 effective Kagan cooperative strategies. Let's start. So, what is the secondary English language curriculum? The secondary English language curriculum, SELC, is a specialized component of the standard-based English language curriculum, CBELC, designed for Malaysian secondary school students in Form 1 through Form 5. It aligns with the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, which is known by CEFR, which standardized language proficiency on a 6-level scale, which are A1, A2, B1, B2, and C1 and C2. This alignment ensures that Malaysian students' English proficiency is comparable on a global scale. The SELC is implemented using the Document Standard Curriculum dan Pentaksiran DSKP, which is a document that outlines the required learning content, focus areas, and standards. These guidelines help teachers structure lessons effectively, targeting key skills like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. The curriculum adopts a skill-based approach where lessons are primarily focused on the one core skill, for example, as listening, while integrating others to ensure a well-rounded language experience. The standout features of the SELC in the literature in action, which is LIA component. This initiative incorporates diverse literary texts such as short stories, novels, and poems, as I used a book named Poetry by Pleasure during my secondary school as my poem book. I love to read literature books as they can encourage students to engage with language on a deeper level. The curriculum also emphasizes higher order thinking skills, such as analyzing, evaluating, and creating. These skills are crucial for developing students' ability to think critically and creatively, which are essential competencies in today's world. The role of teacher is crucial in ensuring the curriculum's success. However, implementing SELC can be challenging. To support educators, the Ministry provides continuous professional development (CPD) opportunities, including CEFR-aligned trainings, sessions, and workshops. These resources help teachers stay effective and engaging in the classroom. Furthermore, teachers are expected to achieve at least C1 proficiency under the CEFR framework, ensuring they possess the necessary skills to deliver high-quality instruction. So, let's move to our second topic, which is motivation. Motivation plays a crucial role in keeping students interested and engaged in learning English as a second language. It can be categorized into two main types, which are integrative motivation and instrumental motivation. What is integrative motivation? Integrative motivation refers to the desire for them to learn a language to connect with its speaker's culture and community. Unlike purely practical purposes, this type of motivation emphasizes cultural, social, and personal connection. For example, my own motivation to study TESOL is from wanting to feel a sense of belonging and understanding of the English-speaking world, inspired by my father hosting weekly English movie nights during my childhood. So, let's see the three main aspects of integrative motivation. First, we have cultural interest, where learners are motivated by a genuine curiosity about the way English-speaking communities live. For example, the culture they usually watch in American movies. Next, we have social connection, because they desire to interact with native speakers and become part of the English-speaking communities. Maybe our students have a dream to travel to the UK. Next, we have personal identity. Many learners view English as modernity, success, or even global citizenship, especially when their household use English as their main communication. So, why is integrative motivation important in the classroom? Because it can create a cultural awareness where they learn with culture. That can create a rich learning experience because they will understand it on the deeper level. Next, we have personal connection, encouraging them to have a long-term commitment to language learning. Last, from the global perspective, is to build confidence and help students to see themselves as part of a wider global community. Next, we have instrumental motivation. Instrumental motivation, on the other hand, focuses on practical, goal-oriented reason for learning English. It is driven by specific outcomes such as career advancement, academic success, or immediate needs. So let's see the three characteristics. First, we have goal-oriented. Learners are motivated by the needs to achieve specific outcomes. For example, me, as a TESOL student, I need to achieve Band 5 in WET before we graduate. Then we have practical benefit, the necessity of English in real-world context, such as communicating in professional or academic setting. Maybe they want to expand their global network. Third, we have short-term or task-specific. Learners often focus on immediate result of specific tasks. For example, maybe someone preparing for a business trip overseas, so they need to know the new vocabulary of the language. So what is the benefit of instrumental motivation? First, it provides students with a clear sense of purpose because they have goals, and learning becomes directly relevant to their goals. Lastly, progress is measurable, boosting learners' sense of achievement. We know that Sustaining students' motivation in the classroom can be very challenging. Activities that cater to students' interests and use relatable topics can help. Incorporating technology, interacting tasks, or other activities can capture their attention and make learning enjoyable. For me, maybe I like to use the gamified lesson by addressing both integrative and instrumental motivation. Teacher can create a balanced and engaging classroom environment that fosters both personal and practical growth in personal learning. Let's move to our third topic for today, which is SL teaching approach that consists 5 of them. First, we have behaviorism. Behaviorism is a theory where the learning situation takes place, as it focuses on external stimuli by being observant. This theory is especially effective for young learners because they tend to absorb information from their surroundings through observation. Second, innatism. Innatism is introduced by Chomsky. As he stated, kids will eventually understand and produce language through the existence of LAD. What is LAD? LAD is language acquisition device. For instance, even without formal teaching, children can grasp the rules of grammar, suggesting that language learning is a built-in capability. Then we have constructivism, where learners construct their understanding based on their experience and reflection. This can be used when they reach the independent learner stage. Then we have cognitive theory are applied in stage according to Piaget, as the learner will go through 4 stages in learning a language. These stages demonstrate how learners' cognitive abilities evolve, impacting how they acquire and process language. By clicking this picture, it will lead you to the YouTube video that will explain more about the different stages. Finally, we have social cultural theory. So what is social cultural theory? It is a theory where social interaction and culture play a role in language development. Vygotsky believed the learning is a social process that occurs when interaction with others, including scaffolding and ZPD, where learners can learn independently in certain things or not. Or maybe they need help to build their knowledge by the teacher. So that's the 5 theories for today. Moving on to learning styles. I believe everyone is familiar with 3 main learning styles. So which one are you? So let's see. First, we have visual learners. I am a visual learner myself, as I love thinking in pictures. I love using my imagination to soak up information through vibrant visual like diagrams and videos. I believe it will make my lesson more fun and I can be creative to understand my lesson. Then we have auditory learners that absorb information through oral channels. Maybe the student loves to participate in lively verbal discussions, speeches, or even using music for the learning. Finally, the common one is kinesthetic learners. Usually, you will see one student will have more energy than others as they love to move around in the class. Perhaps they love lessons involving demonstration, or even we can use a role play as an activity in class. Next, we have a cognitive style that consists of feel independence, ambiguity tolerance, reflexivity, and impulsivity. So, what is feel independence? Feel independence is where learners are better at focusing on specific details and separating them from the surrounding context. They are less affected by the surrounding as they don't prefer feedback. It shows that they are independent. Secondly, we have ambiguity tolerance, which is when learners can accept and deal with uncertainty or unclear situation caused by the nature of cues available in the context of stimulus given. This can happen when they encounter complex scenarios that involve their confidence or maybe a problem-solving scenarios. Then, reflectivities occurs when the learners process information carefully and truly before responding and making decision, perhaps in making a group decision or when answering question in front of class. Lastly, we have impulsivity. It usually happens when the learner is someone who is more confident and more verbal as they need to respond quickly over accuracy that they are not afraid of making mistakes. After knowing the main learning styles and cognitive styles, we will dive into learner strategies where we will know how they can process the language learning. There are 2 types of learning strategies, which are direct and indirect. For direct, we have memory, cognitive, and compensation strategies. Memory strategies used to remember more effectively to retrieve and transfer information needed for the future. They can use this and help students to restore in memory important information gathered from their learning. This will help them in the future to get information back. For example, creating mental linkage, maybe applying images and sound. Next, the cognitive strategies apply a specific technique to a particular task, for example, repeating, reasoning, and analyzing. Then we have compensation strategies, which the learner usually gets or use cashier to overcome deficiencies and gaps in one's current language knowledge to compensate for the missing knowledge in the target language. So, for the indirect strategies, we also have 3 strategies. First, we have metacognitive, which to assist them in effectively coordinating and managing their learning process as it relates to organizing, planning, and monitoring. This will help them coordinate the learning process by centering, arranging, planning, and evaluating their own learning. This helps the learner to control their own learning as they will be able to plan what their learning strategy should be. Next, affective strategies, which focus on managing emotion and maintaining a positive attitude toward learning. These strategies address emotional needs, such as building confidence, reducing anxiety, and staying motivated. And the last one, we have social strategies, which engaging oneself and others in an environment conducive to practice is essential for growth and development, as cooperating with peers and seeking clarification. They will engage and be exposed to an environment where practice is possible that can increase interaction with the targeted language. Now for our last section today is 35 career cooperative strategies. So what are career cooperative strategies? As a future teachers, I selected 5 of career cooperative strategies that I can use in future, which are relatable, match mind, find someone, time break share, and number heads together. We can see that students who are engaged physically and mentally, which leads to better retention and understanding of the content. By working in small group, they can reduce pressure and students will feel more confident in sharing ideas. Career strategies very useful to address common classroom challenges like lack of engagement, unequal participation, and the difficulty of catering to different learning needs. By making learning interactive and cooperative, they help students develop both academic and social competencies in a fun and meaningful way. These strategies are widely used across subjects and grade levels and have been shown to improve outcome for all types of learning. So that's all from me for my portfolio for today. Thank you.